Hello and welcome to Hollow Acres Homestead. Today is garden tour day. We're going to start right at the front. The sunflowers and watermelon that are growing along the fence are starting to get pretty large. This is not a ladybug. This is a Mexican potato beetle. So I need to get him off. There is damage to the plants and there are eggs, so we're going to just wipe all the eggs off. Slap them off. So it is going to start raining very soon. It's supposed to be raining all night tonight and for a majority of the day tomorrow. I have not done much work on this side, but down here we have morning glory, and it was bloomed earlier and beautiful. So I'm going to have morning glory once I plant it, growing all of this up, so it'll end up blocking all of that off and all the stuff that we don't want to look at. The watermelon are also starting to vine out, which is exactly what I wanted to happen, and fill the space in between, or in front of, with watermelons. I am noticing yellowing on the leaves, so I'm going to come snip them off and fertilize. Same thing is happening over here. I want to train this one to go that way. This morning it was out here to the door, and I don't want it to get messed up or cover the door. So I'm training it to go this way, grow out that way. Sunflowers are coming in nicely. I still think that the compost did better than the mushroom compost. I have not put more seeds in yet. I'm going to plant more sunflower seeds probably after I shoot this before it rains. It can get watered in real well. Let's check out the rest of the garden. I still need to fix this door. At the top we have hanging pots. Herbs are growing in nicely. The strawberries have still not broken dormancy. And these pots are zinnias and herbs. The amaranth and the melons are starting to come in very nicely. I still have all of that polleny stuff that fell off the trees. I'll probably leave it. So there's not much growth there, so I'm not really going to go into full-on detail. The corn's coming in. See, there's spots that are missed, and then there's a whole bunch here, so I will thin those out and put them in the empty spaces. These melons and amaranth are coming in. Green zucchini is awesome, looking awesome, and this amaranth. I'm not seeing any fruits yet, but our gold zucchini is starting to give some. The variations on the leaves are beautiful. Now this leaf I need to come and cut and add a little more nutrients to this plant. The yellowing on most of the leaves subsided except for that one, so it needs some more nutrients. And we've got some yellow squash in here. So the squash are coming in, the melons are starting to grow, things are starting to look really nice up here. Cucumbers along the fence all coming up, all starting to grow up and hold on to it. And I added more lights all the way down. Let's go follow them. We'll go this way and make our way up the other way. So I still need to put a stake. I'm going to do it right here, this very large log, probably 7-8 feet up, so that it can hold the lights upward. This is fine for me, but I'm short. Those snapdragons are beautiful. One of my kids threw a random piece of wood there. It's there. I'll move it when I move it. Following the lights. Okay, I want to stop here. I have not been showing this side of the garden. I have not been showing this side of the garden because I've not done anything with it. Last year there were beds over here. I tried an entire potato patch. I tried to utilize this area the best that I could, and it did not work out well. Things don't grow very well over here, and now that this year there's even more growth, there's more shade. So what I have decided to do was use this area as a very large sitting area. It is downhill, so I need to work with that, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to build a deck. I don't know if that's like a waste of resources, or even if it'll work in this area. I'm sure it'll work, you know. So what I did was just started laying out some wood. I put it long ways, I did triangular, and there's a pallet. I think that it's the most difficult to figure out what to do over here because of how inclined it is. The fact that it's shaded just means awesome. That's going to be a really good sitting space, which, you know, I have floated the idea and have wanted to do for the last 2 years, is put something over here. And the sitting space that I have over there, although it's cute, it's very small, it's not very functional, there's only one bench. I was thinking if I built a deck, you know, obviously I could have it raised up where it's leveled, but there'd be a huge drop off on that side. And I can't dig because of all the roots, and I can't get machinery back here. So I'm still floating some ideas, but in the next coming weeks, this is going to be a sitting spot, and it's going to be beautiful. Now in the big bed, the lettuce is starting to suffer. It is getting steady over 85 degrees every day. These carrots that we planted in January still are not ready yet. I'm not sure what's taking so long. They're way past their maturity date, but I'm just going to let them keep growing. Spinach going to seed. I might save those seeds. Celery. Some of this needs to be harvested because this is starting to go to seed. Oh, well, it is going to seed. Okay. Need to come get this dinosaur kale. So I've not really messed with this bed that much, and due to the pest damage, I can really tell that I have not messed with this bed very much. I've not been up to date on pest control, making sure that things don't get to my plants. I mean, it's almost time for these guys to go anyway, but there's damage on all the leaves. I guess I'll just come clip off all the leaves and we'll see what happens. I have some more started that I'm going to fill in probably that bed with, because I'm running out of space over here. But I do need to harvest a lot of stuff, and that's what I will be doing tomorrow, is harvesting everything after the rain. Cabbages that are getting tore up by bugs. I'm going to clip the onion tops and make some onion top pesto. These lettuces that I did not want to go to seed have gone to seed. So that's what that's all looking like. I do have more lettuce seeds started. This is where the lights end. At the end here. Okay. So I do have more lettuce seeds started. I walked in a spider web. Oh no, don't get on me. Okay, there's bugs. There's bugs out. I need to put up the archway on this trellis down here. I did clip off all of the growth from these trees, especially that one. But I did just kind of leave it right there. I didn't pick it up. So I need to make the trellis for here. The peas are starting to grow. So we've got some length on them. This is dinosaur kale that I'm going to put here. The pest damage on the cabbage is too severe that it cannot be saved. And in there is a whole bunch of droppings. So I need to get these guys out. Sad. It is sad. I was hoping for cabbage. So the archway is starting to look better. A little. I do need to finish it. I'm loving my lights. They're a little tangly. I'm not going to stop and fidget with lights right now. with some dinosaur kale and a bunch of carrots, and I don't remember what beans they are. Pole beans, so I need to come unravel that and finish this side of the archway to match that one. Because all they got right now is this. They're starting to grow a lot and they need their support. So we're back up here. There's the snapdragon. Trap crops, I'll probably pull those out too. Now I have pest on my amaranth, so I have to deal with this. There's basil, sweet baby watermelon, blueberry, more watermelon, amaranth, all of that potted throughout. There's thyme, more blueberries. I need to get the spider webs off of this one, otherwise I am inviting spider mites to live, and I don't want to invite them to live there. Blueberries, I need to fertilize these. They're still hard, but I'm hoping we get blueberries. The raspberry, I really need to come do something with. The vines in the back are starting to pull it backwards. We're having some forming of the berries. I need to come support that. Spaghetti squash is growing. Doing good. Those two are still growing. That one still died. Potatoes are doing nice. There's a lot of yellowing at the bottom. There's some weeds growing in. But overall, they're doing good. They are nearing the end of their growing season. I think they're at like 140 days or something, so we have about 2 or 3 weeks left. Only one of the plants flowered, so I don't know if I'm going to get good-sized potatoes or not. So I guess if they're still looking bad, I'm not noticing anything, then I'll pull them. But if I feel like I want to grow them a little longer, then I will. I do have more potatoes to plant and no space to put them in, so I'm probably going to get some grow bags. I pulled a lot of stuff out of this bed, all the big stuff. There are 2 Brussels sprouts left, onion tops. We have a couple of tomatoes here, and of course I didn't label. Oh wait, I did label. Cherokee purple, okay. I had only 3 of those, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope those are all Cherokee purple. We have white cucumbers growing here. Parsley that looks like it's going to seed. Trying to determine which way I want to go right now. Do I want to go through or do I want to go around? I showed you this bed. Let's come this way and then we will come up the archway. How about that? The herb bed. These amaranth are doing well. They're growing. I think they're doing better than some of the beds at the pumpkin patch. These are white cucumbers lining the bed. Cilantro that's gone to seed. More white cucumbers. There's oregano. Then we have pole beans. And I feel like they're rattlesnake, but I can't remember. They might be Blue Lake. This parsley has gone to seed. Oh, here is white sage. I have not found a place to put it yet. But white sage is the burning sage. I wanted to grow that specifically for burning. The bushes get large. You know, sage can get very big if you let it. So I want to find a place where I can let it get really big. Over here is mint. There's sage right there getting pretty big. More mint. These are butternut squash, and from the yellowing, I need to come fertilize them and pop all these off. Amaranth in the front. There's dill, mint. Butternut squash will grow up the archway and then connect here. This is also butternut squash, which will do the same thing. I'm liking what I did here in the dimensions. It is going to allow the plants to grow in like a really cool rotating type looking way. So I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. They'll go up and over. So this is my sitting space. It is a nice place to sit, and I can see the entire garden. But I think that it would be much better as a food prep space. Everything that where's the echo? Echo? Everything that comes from the garden, I want to have a place to wash it and get it ready to go inside to where I can either preserve it or use it. Because I have a lot of dirt in my house and I'm not liking dirt inside, and I feel like if I could do maybe like a long double table or something, double side, so boom, boom, like this, but like a U shape, where it's countertop. I'll have like a sink and, I don't know, run some water out here, some electricity, we'll see. It's just a thought. I want some sort of station to clean everything. Yeah. We are in the in-ground bed section. My dog will not stop barking. We're going to try to get around it. The first thing that I want to say about this section is that greenhouse. I think I'm done with it. I really, really do. There are now holes in the back of the greenhouse because of the weight of the water, because it will not stay attached to the sides like it's supposed to. Well, now there's holes and it's starting to rip. It holds in so much heat that it bakes everything. The reason that my seeds aren't germinating is because they're being burned to death. It's not because they're just not germinating or something I'm doing wrong. So now that I know that everything's being burnt, I'm probably just going to take the top off. But then I'll just have this frame. I have been doing a lot of potting up lately and putting things directly into the soil. A lot of stuff I put in the garden pretty small. The flower beds are finally starting to grow their flowers. There's amaranth in this bed and cosmos and bachelor buttons, I think. There's also cosmos in that bed. I did add some grape mullion at the end because I planted it far too close, or all the seeds got caught up in themselves, but I need them to get larger so I can separate them off. And I figured this would be the best way to do it. Just separate it into clumps where it can have some space. So that's looking good. Zinnias coming in. I already topped off the zinnias. They are starting to branch out. Oh, I didn't do that one. Maybe I didn't do these. Ignore the mess. In this bed there is our red romaine. This is the red romaine lettuce that has gone to seed and I still haven't taken it out. Purple beans. They've all germinated and starting to come up. That's very exciting. On the right side here, those are daisies. And these daisies, they're so pretty. This is iceberg lettuce. I don't know how well this is going to do in the heat, but I decided to give it a shot. There's okra and garlic on the side. One cabbage that I'm going to pull out. More daisies. I don't think I have enough for a bouquet yet, which is why I haven't been picking them. Back on the beans, these daisies. Everything's looking good. Alaska snow peas. They were supposed to get 2 feet tall. They are much taller than that. And they're pulling the trellis down with them. So I need to figure out a stronger trellising thing for them. But we'll have peas soon, and that's exciting. Buds all over. In front, I have gold zucchini. I had no space to put these, and I thought, let's give it a shot. In the front, lots of beans. In the back, there's okra. We'll walk back there in a second. All of this chamomile. I'm going to come harvest those. I've been drying the flowers. Lots of beans. Lots of beans. There is some sunburnt. The leaves have been burnt. When you notice burning on your leaves, whether it be bean plants or any other plant, the burning. This is from the leaves getting wet, not having enough time to dry, and then getting burned by the sun. That's what that is. Okra, but they're growing. They're next to garlic, the garlic should repel many pests that would want to eat them. So I think we'll be okay there. And because this garlic is also so close to the zucchini, we shouldn't have any pest problems here either. I need to come push these peas through this trellis and tie it off. I think it needs to be a little taller too. More support for sure. I have potted up some zinnias. These are creme brulee shallots. I wanted to give them their very own space to see what they're going to do. Iceberg lettuce. Some other kind of lettuce. These are all cabbages, and I'm using them as microgreens because they got too big. I'm using these mostly as microgreens just because they got really leggy really quickly, so they're not going to grow properly and head up, and plus it's almost too hot anyway. So I'm going to try again in the winter. I think in July or August I'm going to start all my fall crop seeds. These zinnias. These ones are peppermint stick zinnia. One white wonder cucumber there. Blueberry cheesecake zinnias. Stop sign zinnias. Bunch of zinnias. Cucamelons. I really need to transplant these. Some of these seeds are starting to germinate now. So the ones that I already have, I need to get out of there. This is Rogue Royale sunflower. I need to go plant these guys. Black Beauty eggplants, looking pretty good. These 6 cell things, like there's one in here, and there's 3 in here, and there's 1 in there, and 1 in the back. The biodegradable 6 cell trays do not really do, it's very windy, they do not hold in very much moisture at all. So as soon as something does germinate, it very quickly will die because there's not enough moisture. And then the holes in the middle hold the most moisture, and the ones on the edges don't. So I've been doing a lot of troubleshooting with these biodegradable 6 cell packs. Well, these are actually 12 cell, but still. Trees are starting to grow. The one right there, I transplanted a lot of these and it suffered through shock, so that's what's happening there. Sugar maple trees. These are things that are soon to be put out. California Bell Wonder Pepper. I think I'll be selling half of it and planting the other half. Most of that's just weeds. And then the 3 apple trees that are growing all wild now because I did not. Those 3 apple trees grown wild because I did not stake them properly. A lot of them actually. Most of what is left in the greenhouse are things that really do need all of that heat, or they're dead. So they're in there because they're dead. I'm not gonna go in there today. It's a greenhouse, and most of everything is out because it's hardening off. It is ready to be planted. So it's starting to sprinkle. We need to hurry it up. Asparagus, back here, lining it are Amish paste tomatoes. Lining the back of this bed are Costaluto Genovese tomatoes. I probably went a little overboard with those this year. And the trellis wall that I built, I did finish. I finished it. I do need to add 2 or 3 of the lines to go across. Basil's looking nice. Everything in there's looking good. I do still need to separate those daisies. I'll probably end up putting them in containers. These 4 beds up front we have not seen yet. Celery. Let's go in a seed. These carrots still are not ready. Spaghetti squash is growing nicely though. Celery is quite large as well. These radishes have gone to seed. I'm going to let them go to seed. I'm going to let them flower, and I'm going to collect the seeds. I'm feeling very rushed because of the sprinkling and the very strong winds that are happening right now, and something got in my eye. So there's not much in this bed here. Most of it I have pulled out and will be replanting very soon in the next couple of days. More celery. I think there's celery and onions or garlic in every single bed. I need to get the bugs from this one because the head looks good. Oh no, oh no. Man. Dang it. Well, at least I have this one. Right, this one's doing good. Heading up nicely, but it's still soft and small. Bugs. Bug damage. Bug damage. Please don't be on the inside. Okay, that one looks good. Oh, that head is nice and firm, though. I have a lot of mushrooms in the bed, and mushrooms are very good to have in your garden beds. Let you know that they're breaking things down like they're supposed to be. Yuck. That cabbage is the size of a Brussels sprout. There are tomatoes in the back. I can't remember. These tomato plants over here are the best ones so far in the garden. Costoluto Genovese, producing strong. Oh! Oh, we have our first little blooms. First buds, getting ready to bloom. This bed is celery, tomatoes, and mostly radishes. So it's the next day. We got rained out. Started pouring right after, I guess, the last clip that you just saw. I watched the end of it to see where I was. So let's finish this. We are at the 4 beds. We saw those 2. This one. Pretty much everything in this bed is celery. There are a couple of radishes, and there are some onions there in the back. But this is mostly celery. These beans are growing up. They're going to cover this thing in no time. A couple of cabbages. I have pulled most of the cabbages because I was not on top of pest control. And we got a lot of pests. So now that there is no rain forecasted for the next 6 days or so, I'm going to come out and spray everything with neem oil. When you notice pests or bugs in your garden that are eating your plants, check the forecast. Make sure that there's no rain because the rain is going to wash away that neem oil. And I use neem oil or diatomaceous earth, which I don't have any and I need to order some. But I have found that a simple neem oil spray pretty much works most of the time, unless you have an infestation. The radishes in this bed are getting very large. They're all starting to get pretty big. And what I'm going to do with these radishes is make a slaw, or I might ferment them, but I want to try a radish type style coleslaw. Some of these are getting pretty big. This one's huge. Look at that one. So the bigger radishes are, the more spicy they are. So that one's going to be pretty spicy. But I do want them to size up quite a bit. Add a little kick to the slaw. The tomatoes in the back, they are doing pretty good. I need to get this trellis up. Look at that one. My one plant. Why can't I remember it? Oh, man. But the tomatoes are coming up very nicely. I'm pretty sure we did this bed, but, you know, I can't remember. So these tomatoes I need to start tying up to here. This one's getting tall. So these are Costoluto Genovese in this entire bed. And what I might do, what I'm thinking is I'm going to pull out all or most of these daisies. Oh, I planted behind. I didn't even notice I did that. Maybe I'll take out the little plants and put in different tomatoes. I'm realizing that I went a little overboard on the Costoluto Genovese. Really, those are the only ones that survived at first. So those were the ones that were ready first. And I do have a lot more tomatoes that I will be putting in the gardens. I'm starting to clean out all the beds and everything. There's a ladybug. Ladybug. Hi, ladybug. I'm not going to hurt you. You are welcome here. Let's just take a stand back on the arch. That is starting to look cool. Start to climb up. It's even one at the top. That's cool. I'll probably pull it over and up. And this last bed we have some carrots coming in. These are the white cucumber. They're starting to grow. That one lonely pea. Tomatoes over there doing good. Those, I labeled those Cherokee purple. parsley going to seed. Got some celery. Celery throughout most of these beds. Brussels sprouts has put some height on and has also, there's something getting this. And I'm thinking it might be grasshoppers because I don't see bugs, but I see giant holes. It's funny how you go from one day to having no pest issues, and then the next week, 2-3 days later, next week, whatever, it's like bugs everywhere. When you do use the neem oil spray as pest control, anytime you're using any kind of pest control, organic or not, you never want to put that on the plants in the heat of the day when the sun is on them. You want to do it in the evening. Once the sun has set, it's no longer hitting the plants. For me, that's about 3 o'clock. But that is all that I have for today. The rain has really chilled things off. I'm pretty sure that we saw everything. I guess editing will only tell. So thank you for hanging out with me. And we'll see you next time here on Hollow Acres Homestead.